Well, hello, you're very welcome to the Irish Independence League of Ireland review video, joined tonight by Aidan Fitzmaurice, and I think there's a Derry City player getting changed behind you, Aidan.
Derry City fan, I think. Yeah,
Derry City fan. He
looks
looks
very happy here
like
tonight.
It looks like long sleeve shirts. I thought he was a player. He looks the part anyway. Joined by Aidan Fitzmaurice not at the Brandywell, at Celtic Park tonight on a historic night for Derry City Football Club. Their first night playing at the home of Derry GA, and more importantly, they marked it with a much needed 1-0 win over the champions. The type of result all of Derry persuasion have really wanted to see to really kickstart their title charge. I'm here at Richmond Park for it was another Dublin derby, St. Pat's against Bows. It was the Saints who won 3-1 and full value for the 3 points. An absolutely remarkable game across the Liffey, Aidan, at Celtic Park. Shelbourne 3, Drogheda United 4, and a 96th minute equaliser for Waterford at home to Galway as well. So, as we always say, not a night not short of talking points. But I might just start with you. It was the real standout game of the night from an occasion point of view. More than 7,000 there. The most important thing is a badly needed 3 points for Derry City now. Back-to-back wins. James Clark with the first half goal. But just the occasion, the vibe around. How was it, Aidan?
Yeah, I suppose you could separate two things. Both went for Derry's way, the occasion and the game. You don't always get those. Just at the occasion, first of all, it felt like a proper game. The first game here, Derry really put a lot of work, as a club, put a lot of work into it. There was a fan zone, there was beer trucks, there was food trucks, there was a kids there, face painting. I think the big difference with the crowd here tonight, over 7,000. The lower ticket prices, Derry City got a lot of criticism over the last couple of years over ticket prices, particularly European games. So they loaded. It was tenner for adults, I think 5 for kids. I think people responded. It was a lovely evening. They came to see the champions were in town, so why not pop along? So it felt like a proper game, and it could happen where you don't instantly feel at home. The pitch wasn't great. It looked a lot better than I saw on TV when Derry played Antrim in the Ulster Championship last week. So work had been done. It still wasn't perfect. Pitch didn't really help both teams. But in terms of the game, very good from Derry City's point of view. I thought it was fairly even opening. It looked like Shamrock Rovers really were going to be strong in the first 15-20 minutes. Jack Byrne looked like he was going to have the game of his life. They were really asking questions of Derry. And this is a Derry who've been quite vulnerable all season. It looked as if they would crumble. But in fairness to Derry, they as they did away to Shelbourne last week, really had a game plan. Fairly sloppy goal to concede. Corner again, it really will annoy Shamrock Rovers. A corner in from Adam O'Reilly wasn't cleared for James Clark, and just an instinct from him. He was free, very close to goal, stabbed it home. And Shamrock Rovers never really got back into it. They had 1 or 2 chances. John O'Sullivan hit the crossbar with a shot, but they never really got into it. I suppose Shamrock Rovers most urgent to the last 10 minutes and then 7 minutes of added time, and they threw on subs. They looked a bit more shape about them, but Eddie Beach, who's been a real hero for Derry, rocky start at Derry, but he's been a real hero for them in the last couple of weeks. The draw they had in Dundalk, the win away to Shelbourne week, he made a couple of saves tonight. So yeah, I mean, every result like this eases the pressure on Tiernan Lynch, who still has to win people over in terms of his status here at Derry. But as a city tonight, Derry is very happy. Shamrock Rovers, they're off the top, and they have to regroup now.
A lot of very happy Derry City fans in the background there and milling about the room there at Celtic Park, Aidan. But I suppose absolutely massive win for Derry just in terms of that title charge. They've made no secret of their ambitions, and now that gap on Shamrock Rovers is just eight points, and that could have been 14 if the result was different.
Yeah, they're up to the top half as well, which is important as well. So I think it has been difficult for Derry. They've been rocked with a lot of things, a lot of injuries. They're missing Mickey Duffy, missing Brian Maher. Clearly the news this weekend over James McLean, who's possibly played his last game for the club, possibly played his last game of football. He's waiting to see the outcome of his assessment. So his brother Patrick tonight was very good. But I thought Derry really this game was won in midfield. Adam O'Reilly and Carl Winchester were magnificent. Shamrock Rovers really just looked off it. As I said, for a spell, I really thought at one stage of Jack Byrne, this could be kind of game where Jack Byrne just stamps his class on the game. He could be involved in everything. He takes the set pieces, he does that, and he shows us why he was such a player who was good enough to play for Ireland and has been such a dominant player in the league. But Derry were magnificent midfield, and the changes worked as well. Ryla, who come on, had a very good chance for Derry late on. Deep pull again, stretched them. It was nervous in the end. It wasn't. They had to work for it. Shamrock Rovers probably looked their best in the last 10 minutes of normal time and 7 minutes of full time. If a goal was going to come, it probably was Rovers. One or two sloppy moments. Rovers didn't have that clinical edge, and I think for Derry, a beach will just grow in confidence from this. It's a clean sheet at home to the champions. They now can look forward to their way to Bohemians, who are very, very wounded and very vulnerable at the moment, and then they've Galway United here. So I think Derry, who were looking down the table a couple of weeks ago, are now looking. They will target 6 points for the next two games and wonder, they're into the top half. Can they knock on the door and start into the top three? That would have been their ambition at the start of the season.
Shamrock Rovers are knocked off top spot tonight, and St. Pat's now finished the night top. A really impressive 3-1 win here in the derby in Inchicore. 5,400 people in. I think it's their highest attendance of the season. Absolutely perfect night for football here in the capital, and an absolutely remarkable start of the game. I think a lot of the fans were still making their way to the seats when Marcus Strauds scored after just 8 seconds. That was the fastest goal in the League of Ireland since 2002, and from that point, really remarkable. Really coming into the game, this fixture was 3-0 all draws in a row when we had 2 goals inside the opening 9 minutes. But just after that perfect start for Bohemians, you really wanted them to kick on, add to the lead, and they just didn't. Ryan Edmondson, great finish after 10 minutes to make it 1-1, and from there, first half was even enough. A couple of chances at either end. Jacobs said he hit the post, but then Jamie Lennon made it 2-1 just before the break, and from then Bohemians didn't really lay a glove on Pat's Aidan, like falling behind going into half time. And
that balls very bold, and yet those opening weeks and balls with so many clean sheets, and you just wonder, I saw the goals and they're so soft. And for St. Pat's, what I take from it was their injuries. They're missing Ramal Palmer up front. They had to deal with so many injuries. Max Mata, Aidan Keane has to go off early tonight, and I think that's a testament to something that's gone right for Pats in the last couple of weeks. Something they've worked on. To lose to winter game without having lost Mealy at the start of the season, having lost Mata, and then to lose Keane so early in the game, having to regroup, reshape. And I suppose, when someone like Jamie Lennon delivers goals, but for Bowes you would have to worry. They're just leaking goals at the moment and very much lacking on confidence.
Yeah, I thought St. Pat's did so well coping with that loss. Aidan Keane, we'll have to see what the story is with his latest injury setback there. Ryan Edmondson really stood up tonight, 2 goals. He's up to 6 now for the season. Really stood up. Players all over the pitch, like Zaka Bassetti, Joe Redmond, Joseph Nang with a crucial save there with 10 minutes to go to stop it going to 3-2. Really, really impressive. But I suppose from St. Pat's point of view, they had those back-to-back defeats, and now it's back-to-back wins. And like the vibe around Inchicore here tonight was absolutely brilliant. Fans on side, fans really enjoying themselves, making their feelings known to their former boss Stephen O'Donnell here as well. But from a boys' point of view,
and I don't think that's the case across the city in Celtic Park, where obviously Shelbourne have suffered again. I think the real questions about Shelbourne now, where they're going as a team, as a club. I mean, to be 2-0 up at home, Drogheda have been so weak in recent weeks, just conceding goals, just a club that's really were floundering. And particularly the manner of the goal from Conor Keeley, just how soft that was. You look at how he got that, how it came to him, how the ball came to Keeley, how a centre half can be in that attacking position and get a ball through a line of bodies and Weston Spiel down. So if you're Drogheda, that really has eased pressure on Drogheda. They needed that because they were heading for the bottom 2. Drogheda, they were on a downward spiral. But Shelbourne, I really would fear for 4 goals conceded at home from a winning position. You have to have serious questions to Shelbourne, I think, at the moment, Seán.
For sure, and 12 games in now, Shelbourne yet to win at home. Just their 3 wins so far this season, all coming away from home. So that's really, really concerning. 4 defeats on the bounce, and with coming up to the next couple of matches with away to Dundalk, away to Bohemians, away to St. Pat's here in a couple of weeks' time too. It's a tough couple of weeks coming up for Gerard Bryan's men, who and Shelbourne, they'll really have to find a response. Aidan, just finishing off the last result of the night, Waterford with a 96th minute equaliser. McMenemy after Killian Bruder's opener in the first half. There was a bit of concern. I know we spoke in the preview from a Waterford point of view, just the direction they were going after that defeat last week, Sligo Rovers. But that's, I think that's 3 1-1 draws in their last 4 games. Obviously, they'd want to pick up their first win soon now as well. The only team yet in the league still to win a game, but just that eases a little bit of pressure and just steadies the ship a little bit, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, but they have a tough run coming up. I mean, the Shamrock Rovers next week, and you look at the Shamrock Rovers are going to come back from this defeat here in Derry, and I think they will go out now to try and pummel Waterford. So again, the managers, I feel like we're talking about managers every week when his players doing the business, but John Daly, I think he needed that, because I think it would have been a very nervous couple of weeks if they lost at home again, trying to get fans on side, because they hugely criticised Waterford for the performance away to Sligo the other week. So I think to get that back, even though if you're a Waterford fan, they're the kind of games you're targeting at home to Galway. That's when you need to pick up wins if you're going to stay out of the bottom two. They got a point, but they need, they rely very much on Hammond and Lonergan. We spoke about that pre-game. The goals really have dried up for them. But if you can get a goal from someone like McMenemy, but you would have to fear for Waterford a little bit. Galway would be disappointed with that, to be in a commanding position. And Galway, just having had a good run, just tailed off a little bit in the last 2 weeks, while the winners of the night really were Derry City and St. Pat's.
Yeah, for sure, Aidan. We'll leave it there from Celtic Park and from Richmond Park here. Thanks for watching. You can scan the QR code on your screen and that'll bring you to all our latest League of Ireland coverage. But from Aidan and myself, it's good night for now. You can follow all the latest League of Ireland updates and content with the Irish Independent. Thanks for watching.